Good morning, students. Today I am going to explain certain problems related to inverse trigonometric functions. Find the value of tan inverse of 4 by 7 plus tan inverse of 4 by 90 plus tan inverse of 4 by 39 plus tan inverse of 4 by 67 and so on up to infinity. Find the value of tan inverse 4 by 7 plus tan inverse 4 by 19 plus tan inverse 4 by 39 plus tan inverse 4 by 67 and so on up to infinity. It is an infinite series. Sum of infinite terms of the series that we have to evaluate. So, here in each and every term of the series, tan inverse is common and the numerator 4 is also common. The denominators is 7, 19, 30, 39, 67. The denominators varies here. So, at first find the general term of this series. To get the general term, you have to find the nth term of the series. To get the nth term, before obtaining the nth term, observe these values: 7, 19, 39, 67 and so on. Here the difference is 12. Here this difference is 20. And here the difference is 32. 67 minus, that is okay. Here, sorry to say you, this approach is let Sn is sum of n terms is 7 plus 19 plus 39 and so on, 67 and so on. Take like this up to Tn. To get the nth term of the series, let us consider Sn as 7 plus 19 plus 39 and so on. Sum of the denominators here up to n terms. The same Sn may be written as 7 plus 19 plus 39 plus 67 and so on, Tn minus 1 plus T. Taking subtraction here, we get Sn minus Sn is 0, 7 here plus 12 plus 20 plus this is 8 and 5 to 28 and so on, Tn minus Tn minus Tn. Just taking the terms in the denominator 7, 19, 39, 67 up to n terms, take the sum as Sn. The same Sn may be expressed like this: 7, 19, 39 and so on. Under Tn, we get Tn minus 1 plus Tn. The same terms are arranged like this, and taking subtraction of these two relations, we get 0 equal to 7 plus 19 minus 7, 12 and so on. Transfer this minus Tn to this side. So, Tn gives us, on transfer of minus Tn to this side, we get Tn equal to 7 plus 12 plus 20 plus 28 and so on, Tn minus Tn minus 1. Clearly these are all in AP because the common difference is 8. This is 8, this is 8, so that this is also 8. And moreover, these are all n minus 1 terms of AP. N minus 1 terms. N minus 1 terms of AP here. These are all n minus 1 terms of AP, whose initial term is A is 12. And the common difference D is 8. So sum of n minus 1 terms of AP whose initial term is 8 and common difference whose initial term is 12 and common difference is 8. So that the Tn is here 7 plus, since sum of n minus 1 terms by sum of n minus 1 terms of AP formula, n minus 1 by 2 into 2a, a is 12 plus n minus 1 minus 1 into d, 8. Because sum of n terms of sum of k terms, otherwise terms of AP is k by 2 into 2a plus k minus 1 into d. This is our formula for finding of sum of the first k terms of AP. So that is 7 plus n minus 1 by 2 into 24 plus n minus 2 into 8. On simplification, 7 n minus 1 by 2 into 24 plus 8n minus 60. So that we get 7 plus n minus 1 into 8 by 2 into 8n plus 8. 8n plus 8 by 2. 4n plus 4 itself. I am removing these 2 in this term. So taking 4 as common, we get 4 into n minus 1 into n plus 1. So that we get 4 plus 4n square minus 4, which is 4n square plus 3. From this, the denominator of the nth term of the series, the denominator of the nth term of the series is 4n square plus 3. We can obtain in such a way difference methods of AP. Based on difference methods of AP, you can able to find the nth term of the denominator, nth term of the denominator of the nth term in the series. Now, coming to the sum of the series. Given series is sigma k is from 1 to infinity, tan inverse of 4 is common throughout in each and every term. Tan inverse is common, hence I am taking tan inverse, and 4 by here the denominator, taking the summation over k, I am taking 4k square plus 3. So given series in terms of the summation form, sigma k equal to 1 to infinity tan inverse of 4 by 4k square plus 3. Now, sum of n terms of series sum of n terms of the series is sigma k equal to 1 to n tan inverse of 4 by 4k square plus 3. This is sigma k equal to 1 to n tan inverse of 1 by k square plus 3 by 4. I am dividing with 4. The numerator and denominator with 4. So that this is sigma k equal to 1 to n tan inverse of, I can write this one as k plus half minus of k minus half by 1 plus k plus half into k minus half. K plus half minus of k minus half. So once you take the numerator 1 as 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2. Here k get cancelled. So 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 gives us 1. And k square plus 3 by 4 may be expressed as 1. Adding 1 and minus 1, we get this one. 1 plus k plus 1 by 2 into k minus 1 by 2. Now, which can be reduced to the form tan inverse of a minus b by 1 plus ab. Tan inverse of a minus b by 1 plus ab. So, this can be written as sigma k equal to 1 to n tan inverse of k plus 1 by 2 minus tan inverse of k minus 1 by 2. Tan inverse of a minus b by 1 plus ab is tan inverse a minus tan inverse b. Now, expanding the sum of n terms of the series on expansion, we get for k equal to 1, we get tan inverse of 1 plus 1 by 2 minus tan inverse of 1 minus 1 by 2. For k equal to 2, we get tan inverse of 2 plus 1 by 2 minus tan inverse of 2 minus 1 by 2. Similarly, for 3, tan inverse of 3 plus 1 by 2 minus tan inverse of 3 minus 1 by 2, and so on until taking k equal to n, we get tan inverse of n plus 1 by 2 minus tan inverse of n minus 1 by 2. This is sum of n terms, first n terms of the given series. Now, this is equal to tan inverse 3 by 2 minus tan inverse 1 by 2 plus tan inverse 5 by 2 minus tan inverse 3 by 2. Like that, tan inverse 7 by 2 minus tan inverse 5 by 2, and so on, so forth, until we get tan inverse of n plus 1 by 2 minus of tan inverse n minus 1 by 2. Now, clearly in these terms, tan inverse 3 by 2 cancel in the next term. Tan inverse 5 by 2 is cancel in this next term. Like that, tan inverse 7 by 2 cancel in the next term. Similarly, tan inverse n minus 1 by 2 cancel in the previous term. So, ultimately, we get a tan inverse of n plus 1 by 2 minus of tan inverse 1 by 2. This is sum of n terms of the series. This is sum of n terms of the series. Now, sum of infinite terms of the series, sum of given series is sigma k equal to 1 to infinity tan inverse of 4 by 4k square plus 3 equal to as n goes to infinity, sigma tan inverse of n plus 1 by 2 minus tan inverse of 1 by 2 goes to, this value goes to tan inverse infinity minus tan inverse 1 by 2. Sigma k equal to 1 to infinity tan inverse of 4 by 4k square plus 3 may be taken as n goes to infinity. The number of terms goes to infinity. This n goes to infinity. It goes to tan inverse infinity minus tan inverse of half. So that equal to pi by 2 minus tan inverse of 1 by 2. As n goes to infinity, as n goes to infinity, it goes to infinity. So tan inverse infinity pi by 2 minus tan inverse 1 by 2. N goes to infinity in the sense, if the sum of terms goes to infinity. Sum of terms goes to infinity means sum of infinite terms of the series. So the required value of the sum of infinite series is pi by 2 minus tan inverse 1 by 2. So these inverse trigonometric functions may applicable to certain series which involves the inverse trigonometric functions. To evaluate such infinite series, you can apply the properties of inverse trigonometric functions. Next problem. Similarly, next problem. Find the value of cot sigma n equal to 1 to infinity cot inverse of 1 plus sigma k equal to 1 to n 2k. Find the value of cot of sigma n equal to 1 to infinity cot inverse of 1 plus sigma k equal to 1 to n 2n. This is given in previous IIT examinations. So at first evaluate this summation. Sigma k equal to 1 to n 2k, and then evaluate this summation. For that value you have to apply cot. That is the procedure to solve this problem, to find this value of the problem. So for that find the sum sigma k equal to 1 to n 2k here. Sigma k equal to 1 to n 2k. This 2 is constant independent of the summation because the summation is over k. So we can take 2 into k equal to 1 to n k itself. That is 2 into, on expanding the sigma notation we get 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus up to n. For k equal to 1 we get 1, for k equal to 2, 2, for 3 up to n. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus up to n. That is 2 into sum of the first n natural numbers. Sum of the first n natural numbers is given by n into n plus 1 by 2. That is the formula for finding sum of the first n natural numbers. N into n plus 1 by 2, already familiar to you. So remove these 2. So that we get n into n plus 1. So this is the value n into n plus 1. Now I will evaluate this infinite series, sigma n equal to sigma n equal to 1 to infinity cot inverse of 1 plus sigma k equal to 1 to n 2k is n into n plus 1. That is equal to sigma n equal to 1 to infinity. This cot inverse may be written in terms of tan inverse as tan inverse of 1 by 1 plus n into n plus 1. This is sigma n equal to 1 to infinity tan inverse of this 1 may be written as n plus 1 minus n. Write the numerator 1 as n plus 1 minus n. Just we are adding n and subtraction of n to the numerator, we get this one by n plus 1 into n itself. Clearly this tan inverse is reduced to the form tan inverse a minus b by 1 plus ab. Tan inverse of a minus b by 1 plus ab is tan inverse of n plus 1 minus tan inverse n. Tan inverse of a minus b by 1 plus ab is tan inverse a minus tan inverse b. Now this is limit as n goes to infinity. That means as the number of terms goes to infinity. Tan inverse 2 minus tan inverse 1 plus tan inverse 3 minus tan inverse 2. Taking n equal to 1, we get this term. Taking n equal to 2, the term like that. Taking n equal to n itself, we get tan inverse of n plus 1 minus tan inverse n. Just I am taking sum of n terms initially and applying as n goes to infinity. So that this tan inverse 2 cancel, tan inverse 3 cancel in the next term. Similarly, tan inverse n cancel in the previous term. So that this is as n goes to infinity, we obtain tan inverse of n plus 1 minus tan inverse 1. As n goes to infinity, tan inverse n plus 1 goes to tan inverse infinity. So which is equal to, if the number of terms goes to infinity, finally we get a tan inverse infinity here minus tan inverse 1, that is pi by 4. This is clearly pi by 2 minus pi by 4, pi by 4. So the sum of infinite series of cot inverse of 1 plus n into n plus 1 is given by pi by 4. That means here this value is pi by 4. The sum of this infinite series is pi by 4. The required value is cot pi by 4. Hence, required value is cot pi by 4, which gives us 1. So this is the required value of the cot of the infinite series. This is given in IIT Advanced. Similarly, based on inverse trigonometric functions and properties of the functions, certain problems may ask in the competitive examinations. So such problems, I will explain such problems here. find the domain of fx equal to 2 cos inverse of 2x square minus. Actually, this problem comes under functions, functional concepts, along with inverse trigonometric functions. So you have to find the domain of this inverse trigonometric function. Domain in the sense, for what values of x the function is defined. That is the problem here. You have to find all the values of x where the function is defined. We know that cos inverse of 2x square minus 1. Cos inverse of 2x square minus 1. Cos inverse some capital X. Cos inverse some capital X is defined when our capital X lies between minus 1 and 1. So, f is defined, the function is defined for, this is 2 is constant, nothing to worry about this constant. So, f is defined for 2x square minus 1 lies between minus 1 and 1 itself. Once this value lies between minus 1 and 1 only, inverse cosine exists, so that 2x square minus 1 lies between minus 1 and 1 here. Then only the function is defined. So that gives us, adding 1 throughout the inequality. Adding 1 throughout the inequality, we get 0 is less than or equal to 2x square is less than or equal to 2. On adding 1 throughout the inequality, we get 0 is less than or equal to 2x square is less than or equal to 2. That is dividing with 2, we get 0 is less than or equal to x square is less than or equal to 1. Once we divide with positive constant, positive real here 2, we get x square lies between 0 and 1. So that implies x lies between minus 1 and 1. Once x square lies between 0 and 1, x lies between minus 1 and 1. That means this value fx equal to 2 cos inverse of 2x square minus 1 is defined for all x which lies between minus 1 and 1. So, this is the domain of the function. This is the domain of the function. So, domain of the function is minus 1 comma 1. Minus 1 comma 1 itself. Similarly, next problem. Find the domain and range of fx equal to sin inverse x cos inverse x into tan inverse x into cot inverse x into secant inverse x into cosec inverse x. This is also a beautiful problem. Find the domain and range of fx equal to sin inverse x into cos inverse x into tan inverse x into cot inverse x into secant inverse x into cosec inverse x. The product of all inverse trigonometric functions. Now to get the domain, f1, f2, f3 and so on, the given real functions, domain of the product of the functions domain of the product of the functions f1, f2, f3 and so on is domain of f1 intersection, domain of f2 intersection, domain of f3 and so on. We have to consider the intersection of the domains of individual functions. That is the important concept here. So, at first find the domains of each and every functions here. Already we know that by definition itself, the domain of both cos inverse x and sin inverse x is the closed interval minus 1 comma 1, and the domains of tan inverse x and cot inverse x is set of reals, and the domains of secant inverse and cosec inverse, both the domains of both are minus infinity to minus 1, closure at minus 1, union 1 to infinity. Already by definition, it is clear that the domains of sin inverse and cos inverse x are minus 1 to 1, closure interval. Of course, tan inverse and cot inverse x domains are R, and secant inverse x and cosec inverse x domain is minus infinity to minus 1, union 1 to infinity. So, the common values, one should consider the common values among all these domains. So, the common means the intersection of these two. The intersection of these two is minus 1 and 1 itself, because this is clearly subset of R, set of reals. And the intersection of these two is only the values minus 1 and 1. The common values of these two is minus 1 and 1. So, intersection of all these three is minus 1 comma 1. So, the intersection of all these domains, the intersection of all the domains is nothing but minus 1 comma 1 itself. So, domain of the function, domain of f is minus 1 comma 1 intersection or is intersection minus infinity to minus 1, closure at minus 1, union 1 to infinity. So, intersection of these three is nothing but the set that contains only two elements, minus 1 and 1. So, f(x) equal to sin inverse x into cos inverse x into tan inverse x and so on. The domain of such function is consists of only 2 minus 1 comma 1. Hence, the range. Now, range of f. Once the function is of course on to here, the condition also given to us where f is on to mapping only. The range of the function f is given by f of minus 1 comma f of 1 itself. Range of the function is f of minus 1 comma f of 1. The image of minus 1, the image of minus 1, once you define the domain is like this, and f of minus 1 and f of 1, f is a mapping minus 1 mapped to this one and 1 mapped to this one, because on to f is on to. So, the range of the function is clearly the image set is f of minus 1, f of 1. You can take x equal to minus 1 in this one, taking x equal to minus 1. So, I will find f of minus 1 here. F of minus 1 is sin inverse of minus 1. Sin inverse of minus 1 is minus pi by 2. Sin inverse of minus 1 is pi minus 0, pi. Tan inverse 1 is minus 1 is minus pi by 4, and cot inverse of minus 1 is pi minus pi by 4, and secant inverse of minus 1 is pi minus of course 0 itself. cos inverse of x, cos inverse of minus 1 is minus pi by 2. So that this is minus into minus, otherwise minus pi by 2, pi minus pi by 4, this is 3 pi by 4 and pi again minus pi by 2. So this is minus into minus into minus, minus pi into pi into pi into 6 times, pi power 6 of course, into 3 also, 3 pi power 6 by 2 into 4, 8, 8 into 4, 32, 32 into 2, 32 into 2, 64. So this is f of minus 1 here. Similarly, f of 1, taking x equal to 1, f of 1 is sin inverse 1, pi by 2, cos inverse 1, 0, tan inverse 1, pi by 4, and so on. Because one factor is 0, the value is 0. Hence the range is minus 3 pi power 6 by 64 and 0. Next, next problem. If x, y, z are in AP and tan inverse x plus tan inverse y plus tan inverse z are also in AP, then which option follows here? 2x equal to 3y minus 6z and 6y equal to 3y equal to 2z, of course, 6x equal to 4y equal to 3z and d equal to x equal to y equal to z. Multiple choice question. If x, y, z are in AP and tan inverse x, tan inverse y, tan inverse z are in AP, the relation between x, y, z. One more bits. So given x, y, z are in AP, or in AP, that implies and implied 2y takes the value x plus z. This is 1. Since x, y, z are in AP, 2y takes the value x plus z. Similarly, tan inverse x, comma, tan inverse y, comma, tan inverse z or in AP. That implies and implied 2 tan inverse y, 2 tan inverse y equal to tan inverse x plus tan inverse z. The same analogy that we can extend to the terms. So 2 tan inverse y equal to tan inverse x plus tan inverse y. Tan inverse x plus tan inverse z is tan inverse of x plus z by 1 minus x. of course provided x z is less than 1 and moreover x, y, z are positive. Our discussion is only confined to restricted domains. So 2 tan inverse y equal to tan inverse of x plus z by 1 minus xz. That gives us 2 tan inverse y may be written as tan inverse of 2y by 1 minus y square, because tan 2a formula, since by the formula tan 2a equal to 2 tan a by 1 minus tan square a, you can update this result. Taking this one as a and applying tan on both sides, we get this result. So tan inverse of 2y by 1 minus y square equal to tan inverse of x plus z by 1 minus x. So 2y by 1 minus y square equal to x plus z by 1 minus x. But from 1, the relation 1, 2y takes the value x plus. So you can remove this one. Therefore 1 minus y square equal to 1 minus x from 1. You can remove the numerator so that 1 minus y square becomes 1 minus x. So here is also you can cancel 1, so that the relation between x, y, z becomes y square equal to x. Once y square equal to x, z, x, y, z are clearly in GP, geometric progression. Therefore, x, y, z are in GP. So from the given formula x, y, z are in AP as well, x, y, z are in GP. So x, y, z are in both AP and GP. That is possible when and if and only if x equal to y equal to z only. So therefore, we can conclude that x, y, z are in both AP and GP, geometric progression, which is possible for x equal to y equal to z only. So the required result is x equal to y equal to z. This is also given in competitive examination. Next problem. Find maxima and minima of fx equal to sin inverse x whole square plus cos inverse x whole square. This is also one important model. Find maximum and minimum of fx equal to sin inverse x whole square plus cos inverse x whole square. Of course, where x lies between minus 1 and 1, because the function is defined for x lies between minus 1 and 1. To get the maximum and minimum value of the function, modify the function like this: whole square minus 2 into sin inverse x into cos inverse x, because a square plus b square, since a square plus b square may be written as a plus b whole square minus 2a. Using this algebraical identity, you can write the given function as sin inverse x plus cos inverse x whole square minus 2 sin inverse x into cos inverse x. But as for the properties of the inverse trigonometric functions, sin inverse x plus cos inverse x is pi by 2. So this is pi by 2 whole square minus 2 sin inverse x, and cos inverse x may be written as from the same property, pi by 2 minus sin inverse x. Since cos inverse x plus sin inverse x is always pi by 2, for all x of course belongs to minus 1 and 1. The whole discussion is confined to that interval only. So once sin inverse x plus cos inverse x is pi by 2, you can replace this value in pi by 2, and it's pi by 2 whole square minus 2 into sin inverse x. Cos inverse x in terms of sin inverse x is pi by 2 minus sin inverse x. That is pi square by 4 minus, you can cancel these 2 whenever you multiply the terms in the bracket with 2 sin inverse x. So pi sin inverse x plus this is 2 sin inverse x whole square. Now this is equal to 2 sin inverse x whole square minus pi sin inverse x plus pi square by 4. Just I am rewriting the terms. Now divide the expression with 2. That gives us 2 into this is sin inverse x whole square minus pi by 2 sin inverse x plus pi square by 8. Taking 2 as common, we get 2 into sin inverse x whole square minus pi by 2 sin inverse x plus pi square by 8. Now that is f is 2 into sin inverse x whole square minus, write pi by 4 as 2 pi by 2 as 2 into pi by 4 into sin inverse x as it is. Pi by 2, this is pi by 2. I am writing that pi by 2 as 2 into pi by 4 sin inverse. Now add the square of pi by 4 and subtract the same to this expression. So pi square by 16, I am adding pi by 4 whole square here, minus pi square by 16, subtraction of the same term. By adding and subtraction of the same term, the exponential value never changes. So the remaining term is here plus pi square by 8. So the total expression may be expressed as twice to that of sin inverse x whole square minus 2 into pi by 4 sin inverse x, adding the square of this pi by 4 and subtraction of the same to the expression. There is no change in the value of the expression. Here the last term pi square by 8 is taken as it is. The advantage of molding the expression in such a way is, once you observed this part, you can put these 3 terms as a perfect square in terms of sin inverse. So 2 into this is of the form a square plus 2ab plus b square. So sin inverse x minus pi by 4 whole square. You can write from these 3 terms as sin inverse x minus pi by 4 whole square. You can express sin inverse x terms as a perfect square. Now on simplification of these two, we get pi square by 8 minus pi square by 60. So that gives us 2 into sin inverse x minus pi by 4 whole square plus twice to that of this is 2 pi square by 8. So 2 pi square by 8 means pi square by 4. Pi 16 is our LCM, so this is 8. 2 pi square minus pi square. 2 pi square minus pi square is pi square by 16. 16. On cancellation, we get 8. That is equal to 2 sin inverse 2 into sin inverse x minus pi by 4 square plus pi square by 8. This is our given function f(x). Now you have to find the minimum and maximum of this function. Once this function, maximum and minimum, to obtain maximum and minimum of that function, observe this one. Sin inverse x value always lies between minus pi by 2 and pi by 2. We know that sin inverse x always lies between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. So, sin inverse x minus pi by 4 is given by minus pi by 2 minus pi by 4 is less than or equal to pi by 2 minus pi by 4. I am subtracting minus pi by 4 throughout the inequality. Hence, this is minus 3 pi by 4 is less than or equal to sin inverse x minus pi by 4 is less than or equal to pi by 4 itself. Now, squaring throughout the inequality. This sin inverse x pi by 4 whole square lies between pi square by 16 as well as 3 pi square by 16, 9 pi square by 16. Squaring the inequality, the square of this term comes to the maximum value and square of this term comes to minimum value. So, this sin inverse x minus pi by 4 whole square lies between pi square by 16 and 9 pi square by 16. So, this is the minimum value of this one and maximum value of this one. So, f minimum and f maximum. Now, f minimum and f maximum is. Now, coming to f minimum and f maximum. F minimum. F minimum is given by 2 into minimum of that one is pi square by 16 plus pi square by 8. This is pi square by 8 plus pi square by 8. 2 pi square by 8 means pi square by 4. Maximum of the function is given by taking maximum value of that function 2 into 9 pi square by 16 plus pi square by 8, which is 9 pi square by 8 plus pi square by 8, 10 pi square by 8, which is 5 pi square by 4. So, the minimum and maximum value of the function is given by pi square by 4 and 5 pi square by 4. It is totally depends on minimum and maximum value of sin inverse x. The minimum is minus pi by 2 and maximum is pi by 2. Once you take minus pi by 2, we get maximum. Once you take pi by 2 here, we get minimum. Another problem. Prove that tan inverse of root x is 1 by 2 cos inverse of 1 minus x by 1 plus x. For x belongs to 0 and 1. Prove that tan inverse of root x equal to 1 by 2 cos inverse of 1 minus x by 1 plus x, provided x lies between 0 and 1. Such problems can be proved by substitution method. By taking proper substitution, you can remove these inverse functions. To remove that inverse functions, to remove this one or cos inverse, of course, put x equal to tan square theta. Put x equal to tan square theta. So that 1 minus x by 1 plus x becomes, by this substitution, 1 minus tan square theta by 1 plus tan square theta. 1 minus tan square theta by 1 plus tan square theta by trigonometric formulas, we know that this is cos 2 theta. So that cos inverse of 1 minus x by 1 plus x takes the value 2 theta. Hence 1 by 2 cos inverse of 1 minus x by 1 plus x is theta. But x equal to tan square theta implies tan theta equal to root x, because x is positive, non-negative of course, and lies between 0 and 1. Root x is real. So that implies theta equal to tan inverse root x. So once taking x equal to tan square theta, this 1 minus x by 1 plus x becomes cos 2 theta. So that this cos inverse of cos 2 theta becomes 2 theta. Hence half cos inverse of 1 minus x equal to theta, which is nothing but tan inverse of root x. Hence the required result, tan inverse of root x equal to 1 by 2 cos inverse of 1 minus x by 1 plus x. By taking proper substitution, you can remove the inverse trigonometric functions and get the required result. That is the process, substitution procedure. Similarly, prove that cos x by 1 plus sin x is pi by 4 minus x by 2. Prove that tan inverse of cos x by 1 plus sin x is pi by 4 minus x by 2. Now reduce this one, cos x by 1 plus x, sin x, into tan to remove this inverse. In the right hand side, we do not have any inverse functions. So try to remove this inverse function by molding this cos x by 1 plus sin x to tan. That is the process here. So coming to LHS, tan inverse of cos x by 1 plus sin x. That is tan inverse of cos x may be written in terms of time as sin of pi by 2 minus x. Sin of pi by 2 minus theta is cos theta itself. Similarly, in the denominator, 1 plus sin may be written as cos pi by 2 minus x. Cos of pi by 2 minus theta is sin theta. We know that in by half angle formulas, sin theta equal to 2 sin theta by 2 cos theta by 2, and 1 plus cos theta equal to 1 plus cos theta equal to 2 cos square theta by 2. Apply these trigonometric results to this one. Taking pi by 2 minus x, assuming this one as theta, sin theta in half angle 2 sin theta by 2 cos theta by 2. Similarly, 1 plus cos theta in half angle 2 cos square theta by 2. So the LHS becomes tan inverse of this is 2 sin theta by 2. Theta by 2 means pi by 4 minus x by 2. Similarly, cos theta by 2, pi by 4 minus x by 2 by 1 plus cos theta in half angle 2 cos square of theta by 2. That is pi by 4 minus x by 2. Now you can remove these 2 and 1 cos term. So that we get a tan inverse of sin pi by 4 minus x by 2 by cos pi by 4 minus x by 2, which gives us tan inverse of tan pi by 4 minus x by 2. Tan inverse of tan theta is theta, which gives us pi by 4 minus x by 2, the region RHS itself. So the LHS equal to RHS. So by using proper trigonometric results, you can remove the inverse trigonometric functions and obtain the given values. This is also one important problem. If tan inverse x whole square, cot inverse x whole square is given as 5 pi square by 8. 5 pi square by 8. Find x, then find x. Tan inverse x whole square plus cot inverse x whole square is 5 pi square by 8. Then find x. Now tan inverse x whole square plus cot inverse x whole square is 5 pi square by 8 implies. This is of the form a square plus b square. A square plus b square may be written as a plus b whole square. That means tan inverse x plus cot inverse x whole square minus 2ab tan inverse x into cot inverse x. 5 pi square by 8. But we know that tan inverse x plus cot inverse x is pi by 2. So write tan inverse x plus cos inverse x as pi by 2 minus 2 tan inverse x. Change this cot inverse x as pi by 2 minus tan inverse x. 5 pi square by 8. This is pi square by 4 minus, this is tan inverse x, of course, pi tan inverse x plus 2 tan inverse x whole square equal to 5 pi square by 8. That is 2 tan inverse x whole square minus pi tan inverse x plus pi square by 4 minus 5 pi square by 8 equal to 0. I am taking this constant to this side. That is 2 tan inverse x whole square minus pi tan inverse x. Now taking LCM and on simplification of these two terms, 8 is our LCM here. 4 2 times, whatever, 2 pi square minus 3, minus 5 pi square. 2 pi square minus 5 pi square gives us minus 3 pi square. So that is 2p square minus 5p minus 3 pi square by 8 equal to 0, where p takes the value tan inverse x, which is a quadratic in tan inverse x. That means which is a quadratic in p. That is 16p square minus 8 pi p minus 3p square equal to 0. (16p square minus 8 pi p minus 3 pi square equal to 0. Now try to resolve into product of two factors. 48 means 12 into 4, 48. So that is 16p square. Write this one, 12 pi p plus 4 pi p minus 3p square equal to 0. Now taking 4p as common here, we get 4p minus 3 pi. Similarly, 1 as pi as common here, we get 4p minus 3 pi. So the factors are 4p plus pi into 4p minus 3 pi equal to 0. So therefore p takes the value minus pi by 4 and 3 pi by 4. But tan inverse x lies between, once you consider the value in principal branch, this tan inverse x lies between minus pi by 2 and pi by 2. So consider this value. Take in consideration, therefore, tan inverse x takes the value minus pi by 4, hence x takes the value minus 1. This is the solution of the given equation. Tan inverse x whole square plus cot inverse x whole square is 5 pi square by 8.